All right, quick lesson here. And I was just reading Ezekiel 38, so I don't even know what to call this yet. But just something that has been on my mind lately, which I'm starting to work on now, um, is that when you talk about Israel in the Bible, some people don't like it because they say it means something else. But isn't it kind of funny that Israel sounds like Isis, Ra, and El, which those who do black histories and African history know the whole Isis, Ra, and El, African Egypt stuff. But in the Bible, it is kind of funny that in the New Testament, Acts chapter 2, a lot of the Israelites are coming from African countries, right? Devout men of God they come from, and they mention them, African locations. And Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11 and 12 is mentioning some African places there too. So it's like Israel is Africa, and not just this little land they call, spot of land they call Israel that we know of today, the political Israel. But it's like Africa is Israel in the Bible. Africa is Isis, Ra, and El. So when it's talking about Isis, Ra, and El, it's just a play and a trick in the Bible. As you know, the Bible is just made to kind of hide things, but still tell you certain things that are true at the same time. But it goes in clever ways, right? So now look at Isaiah 38, and I just want you to think this, consider this for yourself, see if it makes any sense or if there's any way you can develop it in your own mind. Ezekiel chapter 38, I'll start from verse, it's talking about Gog and Magog, of course. I'll just read maybe 3 or 4 verses or so from Ezekiel 38. I'll start from about verse 10. And so Gog and Magog. Now, verse 10, thus saith the Lord God, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest. Now, when you look at unwalled, well, I'll just skip that just to save some time. Unwalled villages, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So that's like the gathering together back of Isis, Ra, and El, or of the blacks who have been gathered again, because he's going to rescue them from all the different countries of the earth. And do you see now, like the big push now, if you see online on YouTube, how they're going on through this stuff now, trying to bring back blacks to Africa? As long as you just identify as black or you are called black, you know. So they're trying to bring them back. They're working out a way to make it be done. So now you're seeing prophecy fulfilled. So the Israel of the Bible is the Isis, Ra, El, or the African. So, and that's going to be gathered because some of them went all over the world from ancient times and got stuck there. Once our kingdom went down, the Egyptian empire was everywhere on earth, pretty much it seems. And so some of them got stuck when the whole world system, the old world system, went down. But because we were exploring the earth and were the first in all these different places. But also some got shipped around the world through slavery, moved around, marched around, and shipped around through slavery. So they're scattered still. And now Africa's trying to bring us back to help with the economy, help rebuild and so on, but also to rescue us from a life that we can't really have because nothing good is going on for us in all these different places. So the Israel is Africa. It's the Isis, Ra, and El. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the wall of unwalled villages. Verse 12, you're going to go up to these places to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. Why? Because the people came back home. and upon the that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, like they are, like the AU ambassador and so on. They try to bring us back. They're setting things up, right? To reach out a hand, that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Right? Because the restoration is happening at Joel chapter 2 and 3. When he delivers us, right, and brings judgment and so on, then when he delivers us, we're going to get the corn and wine and so on. So we got the cattle and the goods and so on. And then it goes on now. Yeah, so look at now when it says to go and take a spoil of these people that have been gathered back out of the nations. They're going to go to the place of restoration. Now, if it is the Israel in the Bible, the regular Israel that we usually think of, that is just one small spot of the land that called Israel, whether you're black or white, don't matter for this point. But if it's just a small spot of land called biblical Israel, then what kind of spoil could people go there to get? When they had to even work on their water system and so on, and the dried up desert and whatever. Not that Africa don't need to do some of that too. But what you're looking at is the spoil that you're going to get. Where is the spoil that can feed the world? Is it from the little Israel? Then when you look on your map, you see this little place connected to Gaza Strip and so on. Or would people find resources to go and get spoil from the land of Africa, the Isis, Ra, and El? The spoil that the world can go to get when they get the massive armies to go is not for a little strip of place that they might say it has this little resource. The real resources that Earth is going crazy over, now that Africa is rising up, is in Africa. That's the Israel of the Bible. So if they're going to get spoils from the people that have been gathered back from the nations, it's the blacks who are going back to Africa to rebuild and so on, and they have the spoils. You hear all the coltan and all the other different resources. The cocoa has been in the news recently, some more. It's a lot of resources that you got there in Africa, and every country wants a piece of Africa. That's where you're going to get the spoils from. The Israel in the Bible is the Isis, Ra, and El of black Negro. It's the African.